Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Easy. Easy there, Colonel. Easy, easy, easy. Okay. Sit back, relax. You're safe. The fight is long over. Yes, absolutely sure. I promise. We're days' travel from the nearest fighting. Yes, your whole unit is here and safe as well. You're safe. Yes, everyone is safe. Everyone is here. We've not seen fighting at any point while we've been stationed here, and the outpost is well guarded. And thanks to you, apparently, there's been no shortage of retellings of your bravery. There. Much better. We're going to need you to stay as relaxed and still as you can while you recover. Good, good. Thank you. The more you cooperate, the easier you make my job. I'm Nurse Carmen. I'm the assistant head nurse of the Far East 2nd Medical Headquarters. I've been assigned to be your active care nurse until you recover, so we're going to be spending quite some time together. I specialize in herbalism, so I'll be working on processing some of my own supplies while you rest. If you need anything, please let me know. I'm at your service. Speaking of which, you've got a restoring serum and some water on the table there. Get that down promptly, please. You've been on a drip for a while and not much beats liquid water. So, since you're finally awake, let's do some checks to make sure there's nothing amiss we couldn't tell from your previous physical. To start, can we get a deep breath? Just let it out slowly. Excellent. And any discomfort, pain? Good, good. That's what we like to hear. Now, can you touch the tip of your thumb with the tip of each finger? Perfect. Any pain or numbness? Some soreness isn't surprising. Your forearms are quite badly bruised, but if you can still feel the fingertips, then we can comfortably assume there's no breaks. Next, we're quite sure the right leg is broken. It's already been cast, but to make sure there's nothing wrong with the left, can you wiggle your toes for me quickly? Excellent. Yes, the right leg will be quite sore. If the pain gets too bad, let me know. We can absolutely get you something to chew on for the pain. While we're here, and you're already following my instructions so well, let me grab some new bandages for your wounds. It'll be much easier to redress them now that you're working with me. All right, sit up off the bed, please. Thank you. Okay. Sit forward and let me take a look at your back first. Any itching, burning? Manageable? Good. The burns you have back here look a little angry. We may want to get you to change positions more now that you're conscious, but that'll be easier. Excellent. Thank you. Now, with your permission, I'm going to take off and reapply the bandage on your stomach. Good. Thank you. And are you squeamish? It's all healing well, but it still looks unpleasant, so you may want to look away. No? All right. Suit yourself. Let me just... There we are. Now, this might sting, but just a quick little clean. Yeah. It'll be just a quick bit more. Just a little more. Yeah. There. Okay. Now, the easy part, a fresh bandage. Perfect. All right, now, tilt your head gently away from me. Thank you, that's great. Take this off. Lovely. This is already healing up quite well. Just stay like that for a moment more. Thank you. Now tilt back slowly. Perfect. Now, let me take a look at that leg. I'm just going to fold the blanket back. It's still going to be very uncomfortable. It's healing up, but still a long ways off from being recovered. No more charging in for you. Lifting at the hip should be manageable. Would you be able to raise the leg for a moment so I can get underneath it? I'll help you here. Thank you. Fantastic. I'll be nice and quick. And we're done. Thank you. It's as good as it can be and healing well enough. And finally, I'm just going to apply this salve to the burns on your face and arms. This should be more soothing than anything, but I will be applying it directly to the skin, so it may be a little cold. All right, then I'll just take a moment. And there we are. You should be all set. Just sit back again. Lovely. You're an excellent patient, Colonel. Appreciate your help. Are you comfortable? Pillows and beddings all arranged all right? Great. Keep yourself comfy. I'll put away these old dressings and I'll come back and answer any questions that you have. I'm sure there's plenty. All right, there we go. Now, I'm going to press some oils while I sit, but that's my own work, so please, ask any questions you've got. I can probably answer most of what you're likely to ask. Yes, the rest of your unit is all in the next room, all conscious, happy, and healthy. Few with minor scratches and bruises, one with a few minor burns, but all in tremendous shape considering they've all been up and about for a few days already. Yes, you've been unconscious for about 4 days. Not surprising, given what you've been through. It was quite a bit, as far as we can tell. Yes, the big question for sure. What was that? What were you through? Well, best I understand from the reports and the way your unit tells it, it goes something along these lines. Do you remember the patrol you were doing with your new scout? Perfect. We'll start there. Reports indicated that your position was attacked on the 27th at 1800 hours while you were out teaching Lieutenant Nabe the patrol route. The attacking unit started with knockout gas since they were looking for the communication reports and current intel being held there and couldn't risk destroying it. Evidently, their supplies of the more lethal stuff are still depleted, thank goodness. You returned to the outpost and noted the lack of greeting as you drove in, so you cut the engine and stopped a ways off. You approached carefully and started to see signs that all was not well with the station. Clouds of that grayish stuff the enemy uses for sleep gas were everywhere, and you could see some infantry patrolling the outsides with a few other units visible from the base's windows. You radioed for an assist at your vehicle, then started making your way inwards despite the general's firm denial of your permission to do so. They're still none too pleased about that, by the way. Quick perimeter recon to see what was going on. Then Nabe briefly lost sight of you, and when she spotted you again, the patrols were 2 guards short, and you had a pair of enemy gas masks. You instructed her to stay with the skiff, though it seemed from the look on your face it was pretty clear you didn't have high hopes she'd listen. And instead she followed you along behind and covered you as you made your way past the patrols who were busy looking over their unconscious squad mates. Once inside, it was fairly obvious what they were after. There were paper and discs strewn everywhere, right from the door to the main offices and scanner rooms. You also started to see the other members of your unit, propped and bound on one side of the room, unconscious and presumably ready to be taken elsewhere to be used for bargaining later. Obviously, with all 8 other members there, it would take a minimum of 4 trips when Nabe caught up. There was no way you were going to get through all that without being noticed. And even if you did, the enemy unit would still have more than enough time to gather the relevant intel and leave. Relax your jaw, Colonel. You're safe. Everyone is safe, and we're not currently suffering the effects of lost strategic information, so you know that this story ends well. You may outrank me, but I'm not about to let that stop me telling you what to do and enforcing it if necessary. The Surgeon General is stationed here. Excellent. Deep breaths. Relax your muscles as best you can. I'll carry on once you're settled, and I'll get you some more water in the meantime. Feeling a touch calmer? Excellent. Now, where were we? Right, you made your way inside the base to try and get a sense of enemy numbers and positions while Nabe watched the door. You found the bulk of a 15-person enemy squad inside. The assumption is that the rest were forming the patrol in the courtyard. You crept upstairs to the main ops office and found a few more up there guarding system and base controls, as well as a pile of the base's supplies and weaponry. You quickly made your way in, incapacitated that pair, and started up a full base alert and lockdown, trying to stall the intruders until the reinforcements arrived. Immediate shouting from the team collecting intel on the lower floor, and you could hear them immediately start going to work with torches and other cutting tools to make their way out. Some banging on the outside doors as well. The guards outside seemed to be trying to get back in. You and the good lieutenant hold up in the ops room, kitting yourself out with as much as you could find that would be disorienting and disabling, but not lethal, so as not to hurt the rest of your own unit. Then you manually unset the upper door, trying to use the chaos to get the rest of your team to the ops room and relock it to keep them safe. You got 4 of 8 up the stairs before the main enemy force made their way out of the record storage. Bit of a scuffle there, as far as we can tell. At this point, the story kind of gets a bit hazier. Something clipped Nabe in the mask. She started taking on soporific as the two of you hauled 5 and 6 upstairs. She got her mark to the office, but collapsed just after dropping them there, barely conscious. You apparently made your way down, took a shot to the stomach on approach, picked up your last 2 squad mates, one on each shoulder. Something else skimmed you on the side of the neck behind the filing cabinet you were hiding behind, and then you were off, dragging both sleeping unit members up the stairs at once. At this point, the enemy were starting to retreat and were just putting anything they could into the base to cause damage, EMP and incendiaries mostly. Nabe barely remembers you getting back to the office and pulling her over to the door for the manual lockdown. She doesn't remember doing anything, so presumably you just took her by the arm and put her thumb on the scanner to relock the door alongside yours. Then you grabbed something large, a table, she thinks, and pressed it against the door on the inside. Couldn't really sort out why until she saw the cutter torch start making the steel tabletop get red hot. Someone had figured out where you all were and thought they might have time to do something about you before backup arrived. Well, they didn't, Colonel. They're actually in one of our holding cells here, as a matter of fact, because 2 full units of ours were arriving right as he started. Got the base's fires out, salvaged what they could, captured him, and evacuated you lot to our facility here. Quite a tale, though I recommend you not do anything like that again for quite some time. We figure you must have passed out from overexertion and pain. The leg probably broke from stress as you were carrying 2 grown humanoids up steel stairs at once, and the burns will be from keeping the table held against the cutter torch. You're already scheduled for some commendations back home, and while I'm required as a nurse to be somewhat admonishing about putting yourself so wildly at risk like that, the outcome couldn't have been more ideal at the end of things. You saved 9 lives, Colonel. That's nothing to sneeze at. It was a tremendously brave set of things that you did. I'll be surprised if you're not promoted and well decorated by end of month. I'm sure the folks you have back home will be proud too. You're nothing short of a hero, that's for certain. So there you are, the whole of it that we know of. So now that you know, rest easy. Everyone is safe. The evacuation was a success. You're not going to get thrown out, despite the general assuring us that you'll be hearing an earful from them. And the enemy unit didn't get anything of use. Oh, not much to thank me for, but you're welcome. Now, you lay back and try and get some more shut-eye, hopefully with a bit more peace this time. Are you still comfortable? Good. Let me get you up and over onto your left side to give your back some more air and space. There. And like I said, I'm here, active care. I'll be in the room doing my own work for the majority of your stay, so if you need anything, just ask, okay? Good, good. Now, to sleep with you. Nurse's orders.